What is up, everybody? My name is Nana, and today we're back watching, you know, horror stories. Welcome to a Welcome to HSFS horror. Wait, damn, I forgot what I'm saying. Horror, horror story film someday. That shit does not make sense. Should I change it again? I'm confused. No, hold on, guys. Like horror story film Sunday. I feel like I get it, but I don't get it. Whatever. You already know. And give a round of applause to me, cause I got 20 subscribers. Yes. I'm making it up there, guys. I got 20 subscribers, and that's good. I don't care if people think that's a little. Like it is. Like I'm cool with it. That's good. That's cool. 20 sub. Oh yeah. Well, today we're watching three Five Nights at Freddy's Horror Stories animated. You already know the deal. You know, go get you something to drink, eat, whatever you want, and let's get into the video.
I can still remember the first day I ever went to Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. The name sounded dumb to me, but boy, did I have a change of heart once I stepped foot inside. The air smelled like pizza, and the only sound I ever heard was playtime. That, and of course the music on the show stage. The second I laid eyes on Freddy and his friends, I was in love. I don't know what it was about them, but I found them to be so magical. My friends and parents disagreed. They called the animatronics creepy and scary, but I couldn't see what they were seeing. Maybe my friends weren't so good, and maybe my parents didn't pay enough attention to me. But in my mind and in my heart, Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and all their friends were my real family. There were quote-unquote more lifelike characters like Yellow Bonnie with employees inside helping to act out the show and speak some lines, but I always found the purely robotic friends to be more interesting. Unfortunately, my parents weren't exactly the richest people, so I didn't get to go nearly as much as I wanted. When I did get to go, I was the happiest kid on the planet. I liked the games and the pizza, but the real draw for me was always the magic on the stage. Understandably, I was dying to know more about how it all worked, but I had no idea how I'd be able to satisfy my curiosity until one day I saw him. It was after one of the last shows of the day had ended. Freddy, Bonnie, and Chica were still standing on stage, but their suit friends had left. I was finishing my soda, about to go to the bathroom, when I saw a man in a staff t-shirt sitting alone at a table in the very back, eating a slice of pizza. I knew he wasn't the only worker, but something about him said he knew a lot about the animatronics. Even from across the room, I could tell he was sweaty, greasy, and scrawny, which made me think he was some kind of nerd. I excused myself to go to the bathroom, but instead I went to talk to him. "Excuse me, mister. Do you work here?" "I do." "What do you do?" "I play Yellow Bonnie. I'm just taking a break before the last show." "Really? Does that mean you know how Freddy and his friends work?" When I asked that question, the man grinned ear to ear, revealing strangely yellow teeth. "Of course I do. What would you like to know, little one?" With that, he had me hooked. I asked him all the questions I had been saving up, and he told me the answer to every one. Soon, however, it was time to go. I just had to get one more question in. "Mister, how do you know so much about how they work?" That's when the man leaned in and whispered to me a bombshell of a secret. "You want to know something, kid? I'm the owner of this place. And by the way, you can call me Will." "No way!" "It's true. And I'll prove it to you after the show. I gotta go get back into the suit for now, but come back around here later and look for Yellow Bonnie." It was too enticing to resist. My parents wanted to go, but I convinced them to stay for the last show. Afterwards, I knew we would leave very quickly, but my mom always went to the bathroom first and left my dad to watch me. Once she was gone, I waited for him to get distracted, and then I slipped out of sight. Who knows how long it took him to notice I was gone. I quickly made my way to the same place from earlier and stood there for a painfully long minute, until finally, I saw Yellow Bonnie walk around the corner at the far end of the hallway. She twitched and waved me over to her. I followed without even thinking. Right as I got to her, she started walking somewhere else, somewhere I never went. They didn't answer when I asked where we were going. Eventually, we got to a door that said employees only. Yellow Bonnie opened the door and let me inside. As she turned on the light, my breath was taken away. Foxy was standing right in front of me. He wasn't on, though. Pirate Cove was closed for repair that day, and I was worried I wouldn't get to see Foxy at all. But suddenly, a miracle happened.
Thank you so much for letting me see Foxy, Mr. Will.
That's not all. I've been working on some issues with Foxy's circuits. Come closer and I'll open them up, so you can get a better look at what makes the magic happen. A miracle turned into a dream come true. Mr. Will was able to take Foxy's chest and face off while wearing the Yellow Bonnie suit, and then all the magical inner workings were revealed. Yet, all of a sudden, I had a sick, sinking feeling. The inner workings weren't magical. They were grotesque, like a mechanical jaw full of 1,000 steel teeth. When I took a step back in fear, Will reached out and grabbed my hand. I managed to slip away and run for the door, but before I could open it, both of my shoulders got clamped in the vice grip of Yellow Bonnie's hands. I had no hope of escaping her grasp then. I kicked and screamed, but no one came to help me, and I was powerless. Against my struggle, he stuffed me inside of Foxy, between all those horrible steel teeth, and then he closed me in by putting the pieces back on. I was trapped. Will looked me in the eyes with Yellow Bonnie's face. Welcome to the family, Foxy. Try not to break down this time. He flipped a switch, and in an instant, I was toast. The pain was immense and all over my body, but it didn't last long. However, even after my heart stopped beating, I never left Foxy. I somehow was forced to become him, and now I spend every day stuck in Pirate Cove, watching other kids live normal, happy lives, totally unaware that I'm there and trying to desperately tell anyone about what happened to me. Although, Will has started to let us wander at night, and I hear there's a new security guard working the night shift.
You know what gets me? Is the fact that Foxy is on a stage. What the hell? I'm confused. They probably just did that because, they didn't pop. Yeah. No, you wrong.
How many of you can say you are true Five Nights at Freddy experts? Regardless of your answer, I can tell you that I sure was more of a fan than you.
Nice.
That's for the fact that I wasn't a normal fan. I was obsessed with the game. And as you know, no obsession is healthy. But I never thought mine would take me to such dark places as it took me. At that time, it was early 2015, and Five Nights at Freddy's 2 had been out for a few months. By that point, everybody had figured out the vast majority of the game's secrets, or so everyone thought. At the time, I was on Reddit a lot, and there were rumors that Scott, the game's creator, made a pact with the devil for the game to do well. It was said that there was a reference to this in the game, but it was so well hidden that even the best data miners couldn't find it. The only way was to stumble upon it. I was only 16 years old. I was really obsessed with discovering this secret. In the beginning, I did the same as everyone else. I tried different difficulties with all the animatronics until I found a secret number. But no, I had to do something else. and one night I discovered it.
And remember to take turns at the computer, don't go to sleep so late, and clean the dishes by the time we get there. Understand?
Yes, Mom.
Yes. Toby, you're the big brother. Take good care of your brother, okay? Dad, don't worry. We don't do more than play with the computer and watch TV. But not too much. Remember to sleep.
Don't worry, I'll listen to Toby about everything.
We trust you. Take care of yourselves.
That Saturday night, my parents were going to a work party. Since I was a big boy, they could leave my 12-year-old brother in charge of me. As soon as my parents left, I grabbed my notebook and the keys to my parents' room while my brother stayed in ours. Once in my parents' room, I closed the door and started playing Five Nights at Freddy's 2 from bed. I wasn't focused on winning the game. I had already done it hundreds of times. I just wanted to discover the secret. Maybe it was a combination of difficulty. Maybe it was related to the mini-games. Maybe it was a combination of deaths. Seconds, minutes, hours passed. This was nothing. It didn't bother me that time passed. It had been like this for months. But unlike other times, this time it worked. With a combination of things I did, as soon as I started the third night with a certain difficulty, something strange happened. The game closed by itself. It once and opened again. The game started immediately. Everything seemed normal, but something interrupted it. My brother knocked on the door. Not many people know this, but if you press Control and the letter P, you can pause your game. So I did. I was about to go see what my brother wanted, but something surprised me. Was my parents' room always this dark at night? If my brother was knocking on the door, why was there no light coming from underneath it? The light hadn't been cut off, and I could see my notebook was still charging. Clive, what do you want? I'm busy. On the other side, there was only silence. I decided to approach the door and slowly, I opened it. The corridor that connected to my parents' room was totally dark. Clive? Suddenly, someone also started knocking on the bathroom door of the bedroom. It was
I feel like it's dark. Oh, nope. No, we ain't doing that. We ain't not doing that. We don't need to know what I watch. You do not need to know what I watch. Let me go back and oh my lord.
Suddenly, someone also started knocking on the bathroom door of the bedroom. It was impossible. Only my brother was in the house, and that bathroom was only connected to this room. What was going on? I looked for my cell phone to call someone, anyone, but I had no signal. All the windows and curtains were closed and could not be opened. I went back to the notebook. Was this the secret level? Is this what I read on Reddit and no one had discovered? Not knowing what to do, I sat back down at the notebook and kept playing. Maybe that was the solution to get out of here. The difficulty of the game was not very high, but I was so nervous that even the easiest thing was a problem. Had I not checked the pipeline? Was I not paying enough attention to the music box? As the game continued, I heard strange noises throughout the room. Those knocks on the door had turned into loud knocks. Those knocks sounded just like the ones in the game. The atmosphere in the room was unbearable. The game was about to end, but I couldn't play anymore because of my nerves. My fingers and hands were shaking. I was sweating non-stop, and every time I tried to breathe, I felt a very intense pain in my chest. Suddenly, and just before the game ended, I ran out of battery in the game. But instead of the lights going off in the game, the notebook monitor went off. My body froze. I couldn't move. The bathroom door slowly opened, and I began to hear footsteps coming slowly towards me. When those footsteps reached my side, nothing else happened. I felt something breathing in front of me, but it didn't move. It was just silent.
wrong with you? You scared me.
Clive? What happened?
Are you out of your mind? I came in to tell you to wash your dishes and you didn't answer me. You just kept playing like a zombie. The game isn't even on high difficulty.
What? The game? When I looked at the game, it was over. Apparently, I had won.
What happened to you? I thought you were making a joke.
No, nothing happened to me.
Whatever. Do the dishes. I don't want Mom to scold me because of you.
That was the last time I ever played any Five Nights at Freddy's again. After that night, I tried to tell everyone what I had experienced, just as I am doing with you. I explained everything in detail. Do you know what everyone did when I told them? They congratulated me. Everyone told me that I created an excellent creepypasta. No one ever believed me that I had really lived this. Not even my own brother. You know, today I don't trust anything that happened that day. I don't know if it was real. Maybe I was so obsessed with the game that I was hallucinating. Maybe I was going crazy. But just in case it was real, don't do what I did. Don't get so obsessed with anything. Because if what I went through was real, maybe it'll happen to you. And maybe you won't be so lucky to be able to tell the story.
Having to work the night shift at Freddy...
I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. At first I did jump because I was confused what was happening. I thought it was gonna be Foxy or something. Why? I don't know. I just thought it was Foxy because the way how it was running. You know, the only person that runs fast in most of the games is Foxy. Unless you're playing a fan made game, anybody. Not Freddy. Oh, Freddy can run fast. Okay. Everybody can run fast, but like, okay, never mind.
Fazbear's Pizza was not something I ever imagined
going down. That's my thing.
doing. But desperate times demand desperate measures. My name is Mike, and I heard all the rumors about this location, including the animatronics that moved on their own, the eerie laughter that echoed in the night, and the enigmatically disappearing night guards in the past. Despite the unsettling tales, I accepted the job because I needed the money. The manager, Mr. Smith, smiled at me when I arrived on my first night. He led me into the security office, a dimly lit space with a single desk, several monitors, and little else. Airborne was the lingering aroma of stale pizza boxes. Mr. Smith said, his voice quiet, "Here's the deal, Mike. You'll be here from 12 to 6 o'clock. It's your responsibility to watch the cameras, ensure that the animatronics remain in their proper locations, and prevent them from getting close to the office." Trying to keep my anxiety under wraps, I responded, "Got it." Mr. Smith left as the clock struck 12, leaving just the hum of the security apparatus and me. I took a quick look at the camera feeds and saw Bonnie the Bunny, Chica the Chicken, and Foxy the Pirate in line on the stage with Freddy Fazbear and his group of animatronic friends, all appearing to be lifeless. However, something about their icy, unblinking eyes gave me chills. As I kept an eye on the animatronics, hours slowly passed, but as the evening wore on, things began to seem off. I saw Bonnie on camera, lurking in the shadows of the dining area after he left the stage. I muttered to myself, trying to slow my heartbeat. "Okay, Bonnie, just remain where you are." I was aware of the wandering tendencies of these animatronics, but experiencing it firsthand was another matter. Bonnie moved slowly toward the office, and I wanted him to do so. As the minutes dragged on, the wall clock appeared to be ticking even more slowly. Chica abruptly left the stage as well, but I caught a glimpse of her coming my way on a different camera. I picked up the desk phone and called Mr. Smith as panic began to well up inside of me. On the first ring, he responded. He asked with a worried tone, "Mike, what's going on?" I stumbled. "Bonnie and Chica are on the move. What do I do?" "It's just a software bug," Mr. Smith said. "They occasionally experience some sleeplessness at night. Just watch them and use the security doors if they get too close. They get a little restless at night." However, the unease persisted as I hung up. I only felt marginally more at ease. I changed to the lens that was capturing Foxy's Pirate Cove. Foxy continued to stand there, peering out from behind the curtain. You can't hide from us, Mike. You can't hide from us, Mike. I looked at the camera as my heart leaped into my throat. Both Mr. Smith's voice and one of the animatronics were not the source of the voice. I checked the hallway outside the office, but nothing was there. The animatronics became more hostile as the night wore on. Freddy Fazbear was now hiding in the shadows next to the office door after leaving the stage. In the distance, I could hear their robotic movements and a tremulous laugh. Since the battery was getting low and the security doors consumed a lot of power, I knew I had to use them to protect myself. I had to be careful because there was only 15% power left. I heard a soft childlike giggle as the office lights began to flicker. Even though I turned around, nothing was there. The laughter persisted, intensifying and turning ominous. I yelled, my voice shaking. Who's there? No one spoke up, but the laughter increased in volume and reverberated throughout the space. My heart was thumping in my chest as I slammed the door shut and locked it. I gave the cameras one last look and saw Freddy Fazbear's face pressed up against the glass. The power gauge on my flashlight flashed 5%. The office went completely dark and I was surrounded by laughter. I sat in the corner and prayed that the night would come to an end. Finally, the time reached 6 in the morning and the sun started to rise. With their mechanical motion slowing, the animatronics withdrew to the stage. An eerie silence replaced the laughter as it faded away. My legs grew weak from fear as I stumbled out of the office. The entrance had Mr. Smith waiting for me. Michael, congratulations! He smiled and said, You survived your first night. I wanted to stop right away, but I wasn't able to. I was in need of the cash. I had the unsettling impression that the horrors of that night were far from over as I left Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. There were still 5 more nights to go.
What? I'm confused. I get that it's an animated story and it's not supposed to be, that good. But, what's getting me is, first of all, Foxy being on stage and not in Pirate's Cove. Second of all, did he lock the security door or something? Or, I'm confused. Because it said he locks the door. What door did he lock? The security door? Bitch, that's fuck. You're not supposed. No. But it's cool. It's cool. But it's getting me. Why? That's not supposed to happen. You're not being supposed to do that.
And I had no idea what other nightmares lay in store for me.
Imagine a...
Wait.
I used to adore my job. The kids made me feel so loved and needed, and in return, I loved and adored them too. And yet, I was unable to protect them. It was a Monday I will never forget. It started out like every other morning. Most of the kids were happy to be back, to be able to play with their friends. I was delighted too. I loved everything about my job. As I went about my morning, setting up the tables for breakfast, I felt it. Someone was watching me. Miss Emmy, are you okay? Oh, yes, of course, Katie. Of course, it was just one of the class's usual latecomers, little Katie, whose mom worked just across the street. Somehow, the two of them were always the last ones to arrive. Perhaps I should have told Katie to go back home that day. Her tardiness would have made a good excuse. I hugged the scrawny little girl tight to my chest. She was a bit behind the others, smaller than kids her age, but with a mind as bright as the sun. Even our janitor, Thomas, who wasn't fond of the children, doted on her. I was almost certain he liked her a bit too much, but seeing the old man smile instead of grumble as he carried out his work was a win. It was an hour or so later. I was quite excited about showing the kids the new toys we'd gotten in the backyard, so I wanted to take them out a little earlier. Still, something felt off. All right, everyone, pair up, please. You know the drill. Quiet, gentle feet. In the hall we must stay. I ended my chant early when my eyes fell on an empty space where there should have been a child. No matter what I did, I was only counting 10 little smiling faces. I felt frozen for a second, my heart beating in my throat. Where was Katie? I remembered that she'd gone to the bathroom just 5 minutes ago, but I'd seen her slip back out to mess with Play-Doh right after. So how come she wasn't with the others? Katie? Katie, where are you? How could I lose one of the children? Fear crept up my spine, chilling my core. She had to be in the room somewhere still, right? Katie, this really isn't the time to be playing hide and seek. You know that too, right? The children, of course, grew concerned within seconds too. I pushed the emergency button on my phone. I needed help. This has happened before, and everything was fine, but my gut was telling me that wouldn't be the case this time. Before I knew it, I felt a little hand tugging at my skirt.
Shut the freak up. Hold on, guys.
I knew it. I felt a little hand tugging at my skirt.
Miss Emily, I saw Mr. Smith talk to Katie a while ago. Maybe she's with him.
Little Toby Taylor was a quiet child. He was observant, though, so I could trust his words. Still, Thomas wasn't allowed to take the children away from the classroom. Heck, none of the staff were. Not without my explicit permission. Safety was important, yet somehow
no.
Miss Emily, hi. Katie!
Oh no. I was Okay. Thing is, I was hoping it was not like that with the old man, but okay, that's not, at least not. Oh no. I want a good old man. Please no. Let's not do that.
Katie was there, standing at the door right by the main door. She was fiddling with her stuffy, her eyes on the ground. Oh, poor thing must have thought she was in trouble. Well, normally she would have been, but Thomas behind her with an odd look on his face. His eyes had always been a bit strange, filled with an emotion I could never quite grasp. Thomas, I understand that you dote on some of the children. It's lovely, really, but taking one of them away without any permission, however, is strictly forbidden. Perhaps I was just not used to dealing with adults as much as I was with children. After all, I spent most of my time with my class, and the rest, well, planning for my job. I didn't have time to hang out with my friends or family as much as earlier. Still, I felt like that wasn't an excuse to feel like a deer caught in the headlights, and yet, there I was.
I saw this little lamb wander off, brought her back.
He said only that and nothing else, lightly pushing Katie towards me. When she let out a yelp, I finally saw it. Thomas wasn't empty-handed.
You lot are gonna do what I tell you.
His voice was low, but I knew he wasn't joking. Children, we're gonna play a game of Simon Says, okay? But instead of Simon, it's...
Thomas says, right?
I knew that some of them noticed what was going on. One of the little girls whose mom worked with the police, Nellie, was inching closer to the wall, her eyes panicked. Others, however, were too far away or perhaps too innocent to understand it.
Yes, Thomas says, whatever.
The man whom I viewed only as a cranky old guy before was suddenly a terrifying beast. He shoved Katie towards me, sneering. Katie whimpered, clinging to me with her short little arms. Thomas locked the door behind himself as he sat down.
Thomas says, do not say a peep.
His voice was almost playful when he chanted, but I knew better. I placed a finger in front of my lips to encourage the children. I felt as if everything was in slow motion.
But why?
The question came from Lucas, one of the few in class who struggled to follow directions. His eyes were confused, and his poor little face was already tear-stained.
I said, do not say a thing.
Thomas's holler sent a shudder down my spine. Just what did he want, even? I took a step closer to him, ready to throw my body in front of Lucas if I needed to.
You.
Me? He was addressing me with a twisted look, his eyes leering. I swallowed hard. What did he want me to do?
Thomas says leave the room.
What?
I won't repeat myself. Leave the room or you won't be able to leave ever again.
I did. I had no choice. I dragged to my feet. They felt like lead. I'd never felt so scared in my life before, and yet I was also so powerless. I wished I dared to stay, but I didn't.
Lucas!
I wanted desperately to run back inside, the children's screams tearing my heart apart, but I never had the chance. I will never regret any more than leaving them alone. I thought I was doing the right thing, and yet I was just saving my own skin. All I can do now is remember and pray that this never happens again.
My ex-wife would
Honestly, he's a weirdo for that. Those are kids. Like, yeah, I'm gonna call you a monster for that for sure. I don't give a fuck if you think you're changed. You're a monster for that for sure. Like, that's no. That's a kid. That's basically a baby still. He's in kindergarten or something, right? Yeah. He's basically still a baby. He's no, not cool.
a school teacher for many years, but I honestly don't know why she ever chose that profession. We never had kids together, much to the disappointment of our families, although I am grateful for it. She often had problems with her students. Coming home from work and ranting about how much they aggravated her was almost a daily occurrence, and every couple of years, there would be an incident that forced her to transfer to another school in a different age group. She finally settled in teaching kindergarten. It was definitely not the right place for her. She had always talked about being a professor and teaching in college, but she never scored high enough on her exams to qualify. So I can imagine she felt a great deal of self-loathing for ending up in a classroom full of 5-year-olds. I know she was taking out her frustrations on her students. Within the first year of her teaching kindergarten, she received 2 separate complaints from parents that she had gone too far with disciplining their kids. I heard about the following conferences extensively, but even her side of the story didn't make her look good. One boy had apparently drooled on his desk, so she put duct tape over his mouth. The other case was a girl who accidentally bumped into my wife while she was holding a cup of tea, causing some of it to spill on her blouse. As punishment, my wife had the girl stand in front of the class as she poured the rest of the entire cup of tea over the poor girl's head, while it was still hot. She always expected me to take her side in everything, and I wanted to be a good husband for her, so I used to support her no matter what the school said she was doing wrong. When it came to those kindergartners, though, I had to be honest with her. I told her she was taking it way too far, past the point of being strict and, well, to the point of abuse. Of course, this made her furious, and she could be a nasty woman. My mother and father didn't raise me to hit women, but hers must have raised her to hit men, because any time she was upset with me, she would strike me and frequently scratch me with her nails, something her students were also familiar with. Oftentimes, she would throw whatever she had in her hands at me, including pieces of fine porcelain that I got for her as a gift for our wedding anniversary. She threatened to cut me with a knife on several occasions as well. Every time something like that happened, I couldn't stop thinking to myself 2 things. First, how in the world did I end up getting stuck with this woman, and more importantly, how did she ever end up working with children in any capacity? Regrettably, sometimes in the heat of the moment, when she was screaming in my face, I said some things like that to her, which only fanned the flames. In 2017, I threatened to leave her. It was only the first time I had threatened divorce, whereas she had done it 100 times. The next morning, things were weird. She was quieter than usual, and despite our fight the previous night, she served me tea and breakfast. I noticed the tea was a little extra bitter, and even though I was drinking it out of porcelain, it tasted like I was drinking it out of rusty metal. My wife noticed me making a face about it, and I knew if I complained that she would have a huge fit. So, like a good husband, I sucked it up and drank it, ate my breakfast, and then got up from the table to finish getting ready for work. Barely a few minutes later, however, I started to not feel well. My stomach was suddenly in immense pain. Before I knew it, I was throwing everything up into the toilet. My wife knocked on the bathroom door, and for a second, I thought she was going to help me. But of course, she did not. She just wanted me to know exactly what was happening to me.
Next time you think about leaving me, I'll increase the dose.
She dropped that bomb on me and then left for work, leaving me completely alone to go through that awful ordeal of processing the poison she gave me. Ever since then, I lived in fear of that awful woman. But despite my fear, I did everything I could to avoid her and find escapes from my life at home. I started lying about staying late at work so I could go out at night and have at least a few hours of my life away from her. Unfortunately, that only made things worse. For the next 2 years, as we became increasingly distant, what I did see of her slowly became more unhinged, and the complaints parents were bringing against her shed light on increasingly demented things she was doing to her young students. Eventually, the time finally came that she received her final notice from the school board. At the end of the year, she would be let go. This would be her last year of teaching. I tried to convince her that this was a good thing, that she could finally get a different job that she actually enjoyed. But in her mind, this was the end of it all. She knew she would never get another job, and she always said she would never be a housewife. A week after she got the notice, she called me at work, begging me to come visit her at school immediately. I protested that I was very busy and couldn't leave the office, but she played the divorce card and forced my hand. I left during my lunch break, hoping I could come back after dealing with my wife, but I was caught completely off guard by the reason she actually wanted to see me. When I arrived in her classroom, the students were in peril. The entire classroom was kneeled over, clutching their stomachs, vomiting uncontrollably, everywhere, screaming and crying for someone to help them. It was pandemonium, and in the middle of it all was my wife, standing there and smiling at me like an evil maniac. What's going on? What did you do?
Doesn't it look familiar? I don't think I needed to, but I upped the dose for them anyway.
I immediately called for help, though I was in shock. Everything after that was a blur. The police came and arrested my wife as an army of paramedics rushed in to carry the kids away. I just couldn't believe that she would actually poison them like she poisoned me. After her trial and sentencing, however, there was no point in denying the truth. My wife is a psycho. Or I should really say my ex-wife was a psycho, because one of the children did not survive, which all but guaranteed that our justice system would not let her survive either. On March 27th, 2019, a 40-year-old Chinese woman by the name of Wang Yun was arrested for poisoning her entire class of kindergarten students with contaminated porridge, one of whom died from multiple organ failure after battling their injuries for 10 months. The poison in question was silver nitrate, a highly corrosive and toxic carcinogen that in high concentrations can render the blood unable to carry oxygen throughout the body. During her trial, Wang Yun was described as a despicable and vicious person. Her husband also revealed that he believed she had poisoned him with the same substance just 2 years prior, although he was never hospitalized. Wang Yun was found guilty in 2020 by the local intermediate court and sentenced to death. Her picture was never released. In July of 2023, the Chinese authorities carried out her sentence.
They need to be electrocuted. Everybody in this story. The old man. I thought the old janitor was cool, no shade. I thought it was something else, man. This girl electrocuted immediately. Exorbitant. I'm gonna shut up. No,
All right, children, take your paper and drawing equipment. Today, you'll be drawing your favorite animals. If you finish your drawing, raise your hand and present it in front of the class, okay?
I thought that was cool, Papa.
Chris, you know that the theme is to draw your favorite animals, right?
I'm not interested in drawing some stupid animals, Miss Carroll. They're boring.
But you know everyone will present their drawing in front of the class, right?
I don't want to go.
Are you sure, Chris? Don't you want to show your favorite animal in front of the class?
No, I don't want to.
All right, Chris, if that's what you want, but I hope you watch your classmates' presentation, okay?
I share these words with you because they explain.
Chris, it's time for a break. Don't you want to go play with your friends?
No, that's okay, Miss Carroll. I just don't really have any friends.
Well, maybe if you stop drawing for a moment, you could find a friend that shares the same hobby as you.
Are you gonna make me stop drawing, Miss Carroll, like my parents did?
Oh, no, Chris, I mean, you can continue your drawing later after playing with your friends. I wonder what's wrong with that kid. What's wrong, Carol? Oh, no, it's just that new kid, Chris. He's been drawing these strange symbols for the class today. Okay, that is creepy. He doesn't even want to play with his classmates. You know what's creepier? I heard from some of the children's parents that his family is into black magic at home. Oh, that's horrible. I understand he's a strange kid, but they don't have to...
Do you want to level up your math skills? Let's start with Math Pit. First, find out your math...
to say that about his family. Do you think his parents abuse him? I don't know. I never saw a scar or any other bruises on him. Look, it's just a rumor, all right? I don't want my student to be treated differently because he's different from others, okay? I understand that as a teacher. Unfortunately, kids around his age did not think the same as we did, Carol. What's going on here?
Nothing. I'm just playing with them like you said, Miss Carroll.
Yes, Chris, but that doesn't mean to make them cry.
I'm sorry, Miss Carroll, but I just wanted to show them my pets.
Pets? Chris, we don't allow students to bring their pets in school. You know that.
Oh, no, Miss Carroll. I didn't bring them from home. I just found them in the school today.
Wait, what do you mean you found them today? Hey, get back here. No, Ellie, stop. It's just a worm. He doesn't mean any harm. Are you okay, Carol? Yeah, I'm fine. Could you take care of those kids
I
first?
touched worms before.
Yeah, sure. Well, I'll be. I know, right? Yesterday he just made those two girls cry, but now he gained more followers in a day. You think he'll be a famous influencer in the future? By the way, I heard you're teaching in the Caterpillar room today. Yeah, the headmaster said that Collins is calling in sick and can't make it. That's funny. It looks like some of the other teachers have also been calling in sick this week. I know, right? It looks as if we have another pandemic strike. Oh, please, no more pandemic. I have just had enough of one pandemic in my life. You know, with some of the teachers calling in sick, I thought the headmaster would close the school. Yeah, when it comes to the children, he usually puts their safety first. But he told me he would not neglect their studies just because some of the teachers were sick. Well, we better take care of ourselves as well. Anyway, look out for the kids while I'm teaching in the next room, okay? All right, see you later. That's strange. Where is everyone?
Good morning, Miss Carroll.
Chris? Thank God. I thought nobody came to school today. What are you doing out here all alone?
I was looking for you, Miss Carroll. We were all waiting for you in the classroom, but you didn't come. So I thought you were teaching in other classes.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chris, but when I went to the classroom, I couldn't find you or the other children. Where are they now?
Don't worry, Miss Carroll. Everyone is coming to the school. In fact, we're all waiting for you.
Huh? What do you mean?
Yes, join us, Miss Carroll. Let's play together.
Not like God, right?
Shh, be quiet. They don't know we're here. Ellie, thank God you're okay. What happened to them? Where is everyone? They've been locked up by the children in the basement. I can't save them alone, so I hid here. Oh God, let's call the police. No, we have to save them first. It's that new kid, Chris. He's the one who's caused all of this. What? But how? I'm not sure, but I guess it has a connection to that rumor. Black magic. Oh God, we need to hurry then. What in the name of...
The Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
Welcome, Miss Carroll. We've been waiting for you.
Ellie, what is this?
Don't blame her, Miss Carroll. She's just obeying my order.
What do you mean? Where is everyone? What did you do to those kids?
Relax, Miss Carol. They were fine. I just simply do what you've told me, making friends. Now look how many friends I've made. They also share the same hobby as me now. You see, drawing is not actually my hobby, Miss Carol. But these symbols, they are the real hobby.
You sick little... Wait, what are you doing, kids?
Jesus
I
Christ.
sacrificed my parents and every adult I could find in this kindergarten, but it's still not enough. But now I realize that it is not the amount that matters, but the person that matters. You, Miss Carol, you are the right person to summon the great Elder God himself into this realm.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the story. I'm gonna do the Christmas story probably, okay, cause I can't make any promises real talk though. But I might do this Christmas story around Christmas, on Christmas, whenever. Okay. Make sure you like the video. Tell me your favorite part. You know what other things you I'm gonna have me something on Twitter. So if you want me to react to more horror story animes or like other things, I will watch them. Trust them. You will trust them. I'm not yet. I'm gonna have to get my Twitter. Like I got a Twitter, but I do other stuff on it. Like I might make it like their Twitter. But that's not the point. You know, subscribe. Thank you for 20 subscribers, and I'll see y'all next time. Also, before I go, I think I'm gonna be playing the next video that's coming out after this one. It's gonna probably be Ice Cream 2, Injustice, or probably a Roblox game. Okay, putting that out there. It might be Ice Cream 2. I might get that over with. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna cheat a lot. I can't. Ice cream is annoying for me. But yeah, I'm gonna play Ice Cream. Then I'm gonna play Justice 2. You know what game? Yeah. But you'll figure it out when I post. I love you all. Goodbye. And I might watch the 3 TikTok series. So, these are true. Okay. I gotta watch those soon. But I love you all. Bye.